You already know the value of hard work, but when your mind isn't on your side, even simple things feel overwhelming. You freeze before big moments. You overthink decisions. You procrastinate, spiral, react. It's not because you're lazy, it's because you haven't been taught how to train your mind like you train your body. That's where this summary comes in. It walks you through 5 powerful mindset shifts that will change how you show up in your everyday life. You'll learn how to stay calm and clear-headed in hard moments, not just in major crises, but in the daily stuff that adds up. You'll see why consistent effort matters more than talent, and how an all-in mentality, even when you're unsure, builds confidence over time. You'll gain practical tools for setting goals that actually stick, goals that are clear, motivating, and backed by action. You'll discover how to use fear as fuel rather than letting it run the show. And you'll learn how to respond to setbacks in a way that strengthens you instead of shutting you down. This isn't about being perfect or becoming superhuman. It's about getting better at doing the hard things and knowing that you can handle what life throws at you. With a high-performing mind, you don't just cope. You grow, adapt, and lead yourself forward. And once you learn how to do that, you don't go back. Life doesn't wait for a crisis to test you. Difficulty shows up in small and unexpected ways. An early alarm for a workout, a bad day at work, a sudden breakup, or a missed opportunity. These moments might not seem like much at first, but how you respond to them matters more than you think. Mental strength isn't about pretending things are easy. It's about remembering that you've been through challenges before and made it out the other side. That kind of self-reminder is powerful. Telling yourself, "I've done hard things before," creates a sense of continuity. It connects today's struggle to past resilience. It's proof that this too will pass, and you'll bounce back stronger. That mindset, over time, becomes a quiet source of confidence. Here's the thing. Adversity isn't just something to survive. It can sharpen your instincts, expose weak spots in your plans, and show you what really matters. Maybe you didn't prepare enough. Maybe you were too reactive. Great, now you know. Hard times help you learn faster and more deeply than comfort ever will. The trick is not to shy away from the discomfort. Lean into it and use it. Every time you get through something difficult, your baseline shifts. What felt huge last year might feel manageable now. It's like building muscle. Resilience works the same way. One tough moment doesn't make you unbreakable, but consistent practice with discomfort does. Of course, this is easier said than done. When life hits hard, it's tempting to freeze, shut down, or drift into fear. That's normal, but it's not where growth lives. The most powerful people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who fall, feel the pain, and still choose to get back up. They know how to find their footing and focus on solutions instead of getting stuck in the problem. They don't waste time wondering why life is hard. They spend their energy deciding how to move forward. Mental resilience doesn't mean you don't get knocked down. It means you don't stay down for long. You know how to reset, how to rebuild, and how to keep moving. And every time you do that, you're proving to yourself that you're capable, not just of surviving, but of thriving. That's how people become high performers. Not by avoiding the storm, but by learning how to walk through it with clarity, focus, and a plan. Do your best. We all know the phrase, but few of us actually turn it into a daily habit. The world tends to reward consistent effort, yet most of us still treat effort like something we only apply when it really matters, like a job interview, an exam, or a big presentation. But high performers operate differently. They bring their best to everything, not just the big moments. That's what sets them apart. Putting in your best effort isn't about perfection, it's about engagement. When you consistently prepare, train, study, and show up fully, you build confidence in your own capabilities. You know you've done everything you could. That kind of self-trust is hard to fake, and it shows up in the way you walk into a room, pitch an idea, or handle a setback. Doing your best isn't just about winning, it's about reducing regret. Even when something doesn't go your way, you can walk away knowing you gave it everything. That mindset keeps you moving forward instead of second-guessing yourself or stewing in what-ifs. Let's say you botch a work presentation. If you didn't prep properly, the fallout hits harder because you know you could have done more. But if you genuinely gave it your all, the disappointment still stings, but it's easier to bounce back. You've gained valuable data: what worked, what didn't, and what to improve next time. Bringing your best effort also influences how others see you. When you go all in, on projects, relationships, communication, whatever, people notice. They're more likely to trust you, want to work with you, or offer you new opportunities. Care and commitment are visible, and they usually get rewarded. But there's another aspect that's easy to miss. Effort shapes identity. When you routinely half-try, you start to see yourself as someone who does the bare minimum. But when you bring your full self to what you do, even the small stuff, you see yourself as capable, driven, and reliable. That's not a personality trait. It's a choice, reinforced over time. Slipping into low-effort mode is easy, especially when you're tired or unsure. But cutting corners creates messes you eventually have to clean up. Missed deadlines, broken trust, and unrealized goals. On the flip side, always doing your best simplifies things. You face fewer hard questions from others and from yourself. At the end of the day, effort is one of the few things you control. And when you own that fully, everything else gets easier. You may not win every time, but you'll always walk away with something valuable, and you'll feel good about the person in the mirror. Most people carry vague ideas about what they want in life. Things like getting fitter, being happier, or doing well at work. But goals like that are foggy. They don't give your brain anything solid to work with. A clear, specific, and positively stated goal, on the other hand, becomes a personal compass. It helps you focus, take meaningful action, and track your progress along the way. Start with a simple list. Think about what excites you, what you want to achieve, how you want to feel, and what kind of person you want to become. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just write everything down. Then put that list somewhere visible. Seeing your goals daily helps you keep them top of mind and resist the constant distractions life throws at you. But a list of goals is just the beginning. The next step is powerful. Reframe every goal into a positive statement. Instead of "I don't want to fail," go with "I want to pass with confidence." Instead of "I don't want to get fired," try "I want to become a valuable and trusted team member." This one shift in language changes everything. It points your mind towards solutions, not fear. You start thinking creatively about what could go right instead of obsessing over what might go wrong. Once your goals are positively framed, it's time to get specific. "I want to be healthier" is too broad to act on. "I want to work out 3 times a week and cut processed sugar for a month" gives you something measurable. The more precise your goals are, the easier it is to track progress and stay motivated. Finally, turn each goal into an action plan. Decide what you're actually going to do. Want to improve your relationship? Schedule regular time to connect, learn how to communicate better, and actually practice it. Want a better job? Research roles, update your CV, reach out to contacts, apply. Even a small first step counts. What matters is momentum. This approach does more than just get you results. It also shifts how you see yourself. You're no longer waiting for life to improve on its own. You're in motion, choosing a direction, and showing up with purpose. The clarity alone gives you an edge, and the actions you take, however small, prove to yourself that you're capable of building the life you want. Fear shows up for everyone. It's loud, inconvenient, and often wildly irrational, but it's also useful. When managed well, fear can sharpen your focus, energize your body, and push you to prepare harder or show up stronger. The key isn't to silence fear, but to work with it. One of the smartest things you can do when fear strikes is to acknowledge it. Literally say to yourself, "Yes, I feel nervous," or "Yes, I'm scared right now." This simple step takes the sting out of the emotion. It reminds you that fear isn't a failure, it's just a feeling. Instead of pretending you're calm or trying to push the fear away, you accept that it's there and get on with what you need to do. This matters in everyday life. Maybe you've got a big presentation at work, a difficult conversation coming up, or an exam that feels overwhelming. Fear might tell you to cancel, delay, or back off. But here's the truth. If you wait to feel fearless before you act, you'll never move forward. The better option, feel the fear, say yes to it, and take the next step anyway. Think of fear as a noisy passenger, not the driver. It's going to comment on your every move, but you don't have to hand over the wheel. You can acknowledge the fear and keep your attention locked on the outcome you want. Whether that's delivering your main points clearly, finishing a race strong, or handling a tough conversation with composure. Fear is often trying to protect you, just not always in helpful ways. It acts like an overbearing guardian, warning you of imagined disasters. But once you know this, you can harness its energy to your advantage. That adrenaline rush, use it to sharpen your performance. That mental alertness, channel it into your preparation. Saying yes to fear doesn't mean you enjoy it. It means you stop fighting it and start acting anyway. It keeps you from getting trapped in a spiral of overthinking and avoidance. It's a small shift, but it's game-changing, especially when you're stepping into big moments. Eventually, fear becomes less of an enemy and more of a signal. It tells you something matters, and once you stop running from that feeling, you're free to use it. You move through hard things more smoothly, with more energy, more clarity, and way less drama. You don't become fearless, you just learn to be braver. A failed interview, a bad performance, a plan that didn't work out. No one gets through life without a few setbacks. These moments sting, but they're not the end of the road. They're just detours. What matters most is what you do next. When you hit a setback, the first step is to reconnect with your original goal. Remind yourself why you started in the first place. Let's say you just bombed an interview. Instead of replaying everything that went wrong, shift your focus to what success would have looked like. Picture yourself answering with clarity, connecting confidently, leaving the room with a sense of pride. That image gives your mind a direction to move toward again, and that's what helps you reset. Once your goal is clear, get honest about what's going on in your head. Write down the negative thoughts you're dealing with, no matter how dramatic or messy they sound. Things like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never catch up. Putting those thoughts on paper stops them from running wild in your head. You're not feeding them anymore, you're studying them. That helps you move past them. Now, flip the script. What's one small action you can take that nudges you back in the right direction? Just one. A better study plan. A call to ask for feedback. A decision to cut out distractions. Positive action doesn't just solve problems, it lifts your energy, rebuilds your confidence, and reminds you that you're not powerless. The beauty of this process is its simplicity. 3 steps. Refocus on the goal, name the negativity, take one small action. Repeat that loop as many times as needed. Whether you're trying to improve your health, perform better at work, or rebuild momentum in any area of life, the formula holds up. And here's the best part. Every setback you bounce back from becomes part of your strength. Each time you turn a negative spiral into forward movement, you train your mind to be more flexible, more focused, and more capable. You start seeing failure not as proof that you're not good enough, but as a prompt to adapt and try again. In the end, setbacks are just feedback. They point you toward a better way, a smarter approach, a stronger version of you. So take a breath, take the lesson, and take action. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. Keep going. You're getting better every step of the way.